So, on the back of a season like that, do you find it strange that in his press conference yesterday, Antonio Conte said, Sean Dyche has an easier job than me?
You know what? I would have loved to have heard him say it.
What context?
Yeah, I would have loved it to be on Sky Sports News, his press conference, and he said it then.
I think we're reading it from the newspapers, and sometimes you're a little bit worried. If he said that, you know...
I think he might have got lost in...
I hope it got lost in translation, because the reason why is because you really wouldn't want him to be saying something like that, and the reason being is because, you know, what Sean Dyche has done this year has been amazing. I've got to say that. Because I think his first port of call is to be safe, get their 40 points. He got that after 29 games. And then his next port of call is to try and get up the league. Now he's looking at Europe. And you look at the squad tonight, he had 40 million out on the pitch, and I think Chelsea had 270. And then Conte's job, what is Conte's job? Conte's job is to win the league, first of all. And his second point of call is to finish in a Champions League spot, and his third would have been to win the Champions League, and he hasn't done any of them.
No.
You know, and now we're sitting here in a position that we are, 5 points off of Spurs, sitting in 5th position, going for a semi-finals FA Cup, which is so far down the line, really, regarding trophy-wise and what they need to achieve. So you look at Sean Dyche, what he's done fantastic. He's done his job so far.
Is it an easier job?
I think
yeah.
No, I think winning the Premier League, what I think is hard for Antonio. The reason why is because if what he's got to do is win the Premier League, yes, Antonio's is harder. Do you know what I mean? When you start to move down different positions, all of a sudden it's different. But
if that's the first and foremost requirement,
surely Burnley's criteria at the start of the season is to finish above the bottom three.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's it.
Yes.
After that, they're pulling up trees, you know, and what they have done, they have. I mean, he wouldn't be far off being the manager of the year, in my opinion.
Yep.
The other one, Eddie Howe's got to be up there.
It is harder to manage one of the top 6 teams. One, you've got 25 superstars, most of them. I've got 20, so you've got to control that. You can't keep everybody happy. You know, and the others have just got to finish, you know, just got to stay up. And if they lose, if Chelsea would have lost tonight, it's headlines tomorrow. If Chelsea would have won 5-0 tonight, nothing would have been mentioned of Burnley. Nothing would have been mentioned of Burnley at all.
So yes, he has, Antonio. His job is more because
but
of where
he will
he's got
get
to
paid
compete.
four times more, or at least, than Sean Dyche. Yeah. So, but Sean Dyche, for me, has been his team this year. Is unbelievable what they've done.
Well, to take Burnley potentially back into Europe for the first time since 1967, what sort of achievement is that?
It's phenomenal. Honestly, you can't express, really. You know,
if it wasn't for Pep Guardiola, manager of the year for you?
Yeah, easy.
Oh, yeah.
They've won the league. They've won their league. They've won the league. The top 6 have got their league, and they've won the other league. They've won it. I mean, that is phenomenal.
Do you know the sad thing about it is that what he's done there, I don't think will get him ever to probably manage the top 4.
Why not? That's already a mission.
Yeah, no, I'm.
Do you understand what I mean?
No, I do. I agree with you.
I don't know why. It's just that's the way it is, and you look at it because why?
What,
because
he's labelled a specialist at a smaller club, or
probably, and the reason being is because. They always, you look at the Champions League, you look at the teams that are up there, the teams are up there always looking for the managers that have always been able to get their teams in the Champions League. They're always, because they've done it. And he's untried. The other one that's untried and I would like to see manage a bigger club is Eddie Howe, is another one. I'd like to see him, you know, manage a bigger club and be able to do it, along with Sean Dyche. Because I'd love to see Sean Dyche with 448 million that Pep spent, but unfortunately he's never going to get that. You'd love to see what he can do with it, but he's never going to be in that position to be able to do it, unfortunately.
The thing that you've got to take credit for is everybody he's brought in, I don't know too many that haven't been a success. You know, we went from Chelsea then. They do their own work so much that every player has to buy in. I don't think I've ever seen Sean Dyche buy a player and after about a month he's gone, oh, he's a bit too Jacko for me. Everybody buys in, everybody work ethic, everybody knows their jobs, and that takes a lot of work. You know, it's not like I'll have him, he's 70 million, I'll buy him, you know, or I'll buy him, he's 40 million pound centre half. He must be good because he's 40 million. He doesn't. He goes out and buys, and every year now, as he's chipped along, last couple of years, bought a better quality of player in. I know Brady's injured, but Brady, people like that.
He's sold Keane for 30 million.
Yeah.
Tarkowski comes in. The boy Long tonight, centre half. He's from Cork. He came from Cork. So you look at what he does and how he does it, and if you look at their team, you look where they've come from and how he puts it together. I think he's done a fantastic job. Really
What you said about him possibly not getting a bigger job because they look for people who can take teams into Europe. How do you think Sean Dyche and Burnley will cope with European football should they get it?
I think that would be a different kettle of fish, and I think that would be very difficult for him.
For a start, though, can you only see it as a wonderful challenge?
I think it'd be a wonderful challenge for him, and you just have to be careful now because you're constantly playing, and that is very difficult. And especially if you've only got a certain group of players, 28 players, and
he doesn't rotate
what he's
much.
got. No, he doesn't. He sticks by him, and it will become difficult because he starts to get some injuries and things start to go slightly wrong. It's very, very difficult to basically change it back over. I think he's really comfortable in how he's got his group. I think he's really achieved something that's unbelievable. Yes, I would like to see them in Europe. I remember the time when I was at Wimbledon and we should have gone to Europe, but it was the time when all English clubs were banned. You know, and it would have been lovely for us as a player. I would love to have tried that at Wimbledon because it would have been a surprise. And I think they would be a surprise as well to any European teams. But I think it might hurt them a little bit regarding the Premier League, the constant games. It's very difficult.
Massive change in dynamic, wouldn't it, Paul?
It would be. I'd roll with it, though. I'd roll with it. You know, yeah, but professional footballers, what would you... I've said it before. You want to live your life. You want to play at the top. You know, you're going to. And the Europa League is a good trophy. Yeah. It's only because they changed the name and it doesn't sound great. It's a good trophy. I'd play. You know, you play Thursday. These are fit lads. I mean, that is one thing now as well. These lads, they are very fit lads. This Burnley team, and I just hope they don't get into it and they just fizzle out. Do you know what I mean? I hope they have a go and get through the first lot and then go into the next stage because. I'd expect them to start next season, even with the Europa.